No, call me.
We had a lot of interceptions this week. CJ Stroud threw his first, Brock Purdy threw his first of the season, and both Jalen Hurts and Desmond Ridder had 3. A few more, and we might have as many as Caleb Williams. Kenny Pickett didn't throw one this week. Get out. All right, let's start with Chiefs Broncos. Kadarius Toney had 1 incomplete pass, and he almost had a better QBR than Russ. Okay, why did Russ take that sack? At least have him throw up a 50-50 ball. With Russ, it's more like 20-80. In their defense, Sean Payton's playbook did get leaked. Not that that would have made a difference. We have a playbook? Get Sean in here, please. How did your playbook get leaked? I have no idea. Sean?
Standing there on the sideline 1 minute, and then the next everybody's.
Will you two knock it off? If they could read, they'd be very upset right now. You guys, my playbook was backwards. We might need to give Drew Brees more credit. All right, let's do the London game. Tennessee had a bad muffed punt. Can you get him in here, please? Well, that is the most he's done all weekend. Fine, we'll do the Ravens. Question, is Todd Monken not able to call a pass in the red zone?
I can.
Arthur, get out. He has Gus Edwards. Well, that's great, because Greg Roman 2.0 has him on pace for 100 carries and 0 touchdowns. You are so bad at passing in the red zone, you look like Derek Carr. Desmond Ridder is no longer undefeated at home. We broke another streak. And your most impressive one was breaking the Bears' 14-game losing streak. Okay, Atlanta, Arthur, you are just the worst. You drafted a generational running back only to run Tyler Algier. Why won't you give Bijan the ball? Because they're expecting that. That Packers loss looks so bad. Did you guys see Anthony Richardson went to a fan's house this week? If Mac Jones did that, the fan would call the police. Yes, congratulations to the Jags. They've now won 9 straight home games against the Colts. The last time the Colts beat the Jags, Jada Pinkett Smith actually respected her husband. We have an announcement. Frank Reich is handing play calling duties to Thomas Brown. Nothing like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. That is actually a great idea. Does anybody else want to do that? Now is the time. Anybody? Oh, I'm up. Bubble screen. Sorry, he fell asleep in the second half. Kirk said the difference maker was playing Creed in the locker room. I think the difference maker was you were playing the Bears. Justin has a dislocated thumb. It was probably from trying to catch one of Cody Whitehair's snaps. And Justin Fields with 1 thumb is still better than Mac Jones. Oh, you guys are making jokes? That's good. We are in a crisis, okay? Name another quarterback that gets less calls than Justin Fields. Zach Wilson. Daniel Jones. All right, will you just get Luke in here, please? Did you guys know the Vikings blitz a lot? Luke? What is with you in the screens? Okay, Phillip Rivers trying to FaceTime all of his kids involves less screens. Speaking of coaches, New Orleans, you should probably fire Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael. I get Pete, but what did Dennis do? He hired Pete Carmichael. Cam Jordan said we just need to turn the page. Well, they can't even read. All right, now what I'm sure you've all been waiting for. Let's talk about the most surprising games that happened this week. Let's start with the best team in the NFC. I'm sorry, Philly and Sam. Can you move out of the way? I can't see. I might cry. Okay, that's great. Shut up. Now do the Eagles. Nice. Okay. As I said earlier, Jalen Hurts had 3 picks in the loss. Bring it on, guys. Bring it on. And then Monday night, Dak Prescott actually had a very... Did you see how the one throw he had? You've got to be kidding me. May I just say, we have been through a gauntlet of good quarterbacks. Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Mac Jones, and we've embarrassed all of them. Well, Mac Jones embarrasses himself. Look, we would have won if we had Lane Johnson. Well, you didn't, and Jack Driscoll was terrible. Justin Pugh straight off the couch was better. All right, Browns 49ers. A fight broke out pregame, so even Trent Williams has landed more punches this week than Dylan Dennis against Logan Paul. That was the worst unnecessary roughness call. Kyle Shanahan just cannot have a good time in Cleveland. Whatever, you guys. Look, Brock Purdy did his job. You mean Nathan Peterman Jr.? It is hard to play when one of your Avengers isn't with you. I guess that would be Avengers Endgame. All right, you guys, that's enough. I'm sure it's been hard for him to turn into Nick Mullins when one of his 5 Pro Bowlers is injured. Okay, lastly, Patriots-Raiders. Bill Belichick let Josh McDaniels and Brian Hoyer beat him, and that's not even his most embarrassing loss this year. I'm leaving. Josh, get in here, please. Yeah, okay, so all these better teams are losing, but you guys are 3-3. So clearly something you're doing is right. Well, here it is. My philosophy is basically this. Don't ever do anything under any circumstance to anyone at any time, no matter where you're going or where you've been, to anyone. Sometimes I write up a game plan and I don't even know where I'm going. I just kind of hope I find it along the way.
What's up?
That was a good one, Josh. How are you?
That was good. She's been doing that for what, like 3 years now?
Yeah. How do we get where's the background with our names, Joshua?
I took it down for the video. Let me put it back.
Dude, you look like such a little kid with your haircut.
Give it a month.
You look like a little kid this year. Also, I was thinking, where's the draft this year? Do you know like where it is?
Detroit.
No way, it's in D-Town.
And you know where it is the year after?
Baltimore?
Green Bay.
Oh, that's so gross. So I could I could go to the draft then. I don't know. For some weird reason, I thought that it was in Nashville. I don't know why. Because the NHL draft was there, and I was thinking about that. That's why. But welcome, guys. Welcome. And I actually want to start the show today because I have a rumor alert.
Well, we got
that I've been hearing, and because I know that this is gonna piss you off so much. I know that it's gonna just kill you.
Does it have to do with us?
Say this? No.
Oh, okay.
It has to do with a man named Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
There's a rumor going around that whichever team is sitting at number one in this year's NFL draft, that he wants equity in the team. Yeah, he wants to own a portion of the NFL
is
team.
The one who said this. This isn't like some random person.
How do you feel about this?
I need to hear more information on that one. Like,
I feel like Michael would have a very strong opinion about this.
Oh, I have a very strong opinion on it, but I'm not going to like go off on him until I actually like hear that that's legitimate, because that's insane.
Well, let's pretend that it is. And here's the thing.
And that's one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life.
Aaron Rodgers wanted equity in the Jets when he got traded there, and they said no to Aaron Rodgers. They said no to Aaron Rodgers. You think that they're going to say yes to Caleb Williams? A guy who's never played a snap in the NFL.
There's no way that's true. I heard it too. I saw the rumor, but there's no way.
He's got to be trying to tank his draft stock. Like, there's no way.
Not even that. There's no way that's legitimate.
But he tanked it by himself in that Notre Dame game, dude. He sucks.
He had a bad game.
He had a very bad game. 3 picks. I don't know, dude. I don't like what I'm seeing coming out of Caleb Williams whatsoever.
Keep in mind, this is also Mike Florio who said this, so always take what he said with a grain of salt.
Yeah. But still, regardless, it's just like
I want to hear someone not named Mike Florio report that.
I want to hear Caleb Williams say it himself, which I'm guessing during interviews he's going to be asked about it. He'll be asked about it 100%, guaranteed. Yeah. But that just sounds like
we know Drake May's agent could have put that out there to help Drake May's draft stock. Like, we don't know.
Yeah, but that is just the dumbest shit that I've ever heard in my entire life.
Me too, but I don't want to focus on that until I hear that from like you said, like him. You know?
Yeah.
Because that's just a ridiculous request that I don't believe that's true.
Yeah, no, I really don't either, because that just sounds like a boatload of bullshit. But I just wanted to bring it up and see what you thought about it too. And another thing that I want to bring up, how about those damn Cowboys, man?
You were right about the under.
How about those damn Cowboys? I had the script in my hands when I was preaching it on here, Joshua.
Yeah, you had that. I went off on you on it too. I thought it was crazy, but no, that was.
Dude, you know what? It so should have went over. It so should have. But both of these teams, they just got to the red zone, and then the new analytics. You go for it on 4th and 1. You go for it on 4th and 2. But that Dallas defense stopped them every time.
Yeah,
every time.
That doesn't mean it was the wrong decision to go for it, though.
No. I'm not saying that. It's just sometimes maybe
I'm very pro go for it. I don't know if how much we've talked about like all that. Yeah. I am very pro go for it in a lot of situations in general.
But if you're in the red zone and Dallas has stopped you the past 2 times on 4th and 1, don't you just kick the field goal and take the points?
But it's at that point, and your offense has been moving.
But still, they've stopped you 2 other times. I don't know. I just think, the analytics, like, they help. But I think at the same time, it depends on the game. It depends on how you feel about the game.
I'm very pro go for it, but I'm very pro go for it, but it's not about, it's not just about analytics.
Yeah,
It's about
and
whether or not it makes
they tried the Philly push. They tried the push, and it did not work.
Because sometimes it makes sense to go for it when the analytics say don't.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not like the analytics always say go for it. Sometimes going for it makes sense when the analytics say don't do it.
Mm-hmm. Also, guys, this is our 20th episode already.
Yeah.
How many weeks has it been? What week of the NFL? It's week 7 now. Week 7, but we started the week before the NFL season.
Always flies by. No, we started week 1.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were going to do the week before, but then we started week 1. So, damn, in 7 weeks, 20 episodes already.
Season always flies by.
So then, dude, we're going to be, by the end of the NFL season, we're going to be at episode, 60? Almost at 70 at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we've been fucking grinding out this show,
man. Fun. It's been
every
fun.
week. It has been a lot of fun. No, I've enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm just shocked that we're already at that many episodes.
To talk about today, though.
What do you have for us, Joshua?
There's just a lot of stuff. We'll start with what just happened. And I was thinking about this, actually, about it making sense. And there were a lot of people saying it should happen. And now it officially is. Mecole Hardman is going back to the Chiefs.
It makes sense.
Wide receiver help. He's obviously been there. The Jets have not been using Hardman. So it's a late round pick swap. I just saw exactly what it was. It is the Jets are going to get a 2025 6th, and the Chiefs are going to get Hardman in the 2025 7th.
So it really does not matter that much.
No,
it's just
it's a pick swap. I like that pick swaps have made their way to the NFL. It makes sense. Like those types of trades.
It does make sense. It does. But yeah, no. Mecole Hardman, I feel like he has his home in Kansas City, being back there, and I think that's one of the Chiefs' biggest problems is that they need some more weapons on that offense. Obviously, you have Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and I think that this is a big helper.
And with the Chiefs, Justin Watson has kind of emerged as that big play receiver, and now he's out. He's hurt. So they need a new deep threat, and that is what Mecole Hardman is. He's not great. He's nothing special, but you need a deep threat. Why you might as well get a deep threat that used to play for you that was available. Makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when the Jets weren't using them, it makes perfect sense for them to pick them up. I really have no problem with it whatsoever.
I don't think it's going to move the needle or anything, but it's a nice solid.
No, it just helps. It helps. It's a little helper, you know?
Yes, it is.
It's like one of Santa's elves. It's a little helper.
Exactly.
That's the perfect way to describe those low ball trades.
It's true.
It is. True. Right, Joshua?
Yeah, no, that's good. I like that. So we got 2 pieces of quarterback injury news. One good, one bad. Let's start with the good. Kyler Murray is practicing today. So that opens his 21-day window to get activated. It doesn't mean that he's going to play this week, next week, but he has 3 weeks to get activated to the active roster. That doesn't even necessarily mean he'll play in 3 weeks. It just means that's how long they have to activate him. But I was always under the impression that Arizona, if they were in a situation that everyone expected them to be in, which is the situation they're in, which is that they're terrible, what's the point of playing him unless he's healthy? So I kind of half expected him to sit out the entire year, not for a contract or anything like that. It was just I would have not been surprised at all to see him come back. But I mean, to see him not come back, but sounds like he is coming back. It's a nice, solid move, but there's kind of 2 questions I have here. First of all, before we talk about what Kyler's future looks like, does Kyler have to prove something to you? Or
no.
Or is he, to you, proven enough to be a franchise quarterback?
Oh, because that's a loaded question.
It is.
That's a loaded question right there.
But it's, to me, he has the talent. I don't love all of these work ethic allegation stuff that we've heard. I mean, that is a massive red flag to me. And then on top of it, Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury are both gone. This is a brand new head coach. This is a brand new GM who have no history towards Kyler. So it's not like there's anything tied between those two. So it would make sense if Monty Austinfort, the new GM over there, wants to start over. And
Well, here's what you always have to
they're
look
going to have
at,
a high
Josh.
draft pick.
Here's what you always got to look at, right? Is number one, are there 32 quarterbacks right now in the NFL that you would put above Kyler Murray?
Not even close. To me, he's a borderline top 10 quarterback.
Yeah. So does that mean that he's a franchise guy? I believe yes.
I don't. Because my definition of franchise guy is a guy that I am okay with being my quarterback for the next decade. That's how
I wouldn't say next decade. Next decade is
that's
a bit
how
of a
I
stretch.
define it. Or five. Let me rephrase. Let me make it better. Next 5+ years.
I could say Kyler Murray could be a starter in the NFL for the next 5 years.
For you, would you want him to be your quarterback though for the next 5 years?
Well, it depends on what situation I'm in.
If you're in the Cardinal situation, that's kind of the whole point. It's like, what are the Cardinals in a situation where Kyler has to prove something to Arizona that he is their guy? That's what I'm kind of asking.
Well, here's the question: is you got Drake May, and you got Caleb Williams coming into this club draft class. So you look at those two, and let's say Kyler looks good, but the team doesn't. Let's say the Cardinals finish the year with 3 or 4 wins, right?
Right.
That's what they're on pace for, essentially.
Exactly.
But Kyler's playing good football. Their defense doesn't help them, whatever it might be, right? Do you go and take a Drake May or a Caleb Williams instead in the background?
So Kyler's contract, remember, he signed a 5-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
So he is under contract for Arizona through 2029, but there is an out in the contract in 2028. Regardless, that's a long time that he is under contract in Arizona. Long time. That is, that's the next 5 years. He's under contract for the next 5 years. So if you feel good enough that he is your guy, which I would not be against him as a guy, I think he's a borderline top 10 quarterback. I say he is a franchise caliber quarterback. But I understand the logic of wanting to start over with this organization, with a new head coach and a new GM, and unloading Kyler or someone else because you're going to get a really nice package for him in terms of multiple first picks.
No. That's a question. What other teams would want Kyler Murray after this year?
Well, look at the quarterbacks right now. That there are how many teams right now legitimately have a good quarterback how many teams are not looking for a quarterback right now? Let's look at it. I'm pulling up my QB rankings so I don't miss a team. All right.
Okay.
Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, Burrow, Lamar. It's 5. All right. Let's do let's teams instead of player. Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Bengals, Ravens, Chargers, Dolphins, Jaguars, Niners. The Vikings might because Kirk Cousins is a free agent after this year. Lions are good. Cowboys are good. Broncos are locked into Russ. And he has to look back anyway. In the event that Stafford retires, which I don't think is necessarily out of the question, but I wouldn't predict it, the Rams maybe. So that's 2.
Okay.
Seattle, Geno, they're fine. Stroud's obviously good in Houston. Deshaun Watson's locked into Cleveland. Tampa with Baker. I think he signed a 1-year deal, so that's up in the air. Derek Carr, New Orleans, he's locked in there. The Bears with Justin Fields, that's a potential option. Panthers obviously locked in with Bryce Young. Packers locked in with Jordan Love, most likely. Giants with Daniel Jones, he's locked in, but obviously he's looked less than good, to say the least. Kenny Pickett, I don't think that's out of the conversation for Pittsburgh to move on from him after this year if he struggles. Mac Jones, New England, definitely not out of the question there. Jimmy Garoppolo in Vegas, almost guaranteed. Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee, they have 2 young quarterbacks. That's an option. Anthony Richardson's locked in. Desmond Ridder in Atlanta, you're looking to move on there. Sam Howell in Washington, I'm not convinced that he's an answer. And then the question is whether or not Aaron Rodgers comes back. So that's a lot of teams, though, that I'm mentioning there.
That is. And one of the teams.
AFC? You want to trend to the AFC? So let's look at those teams. That would be Vegas, Tennessee, New England, and possibly Pittsburgh would be the most likely options. Vegas, New England, Tennessee, and possibly Pittsburgh.
It's either Vegas or New England.
Probably.
It's either Vegas or New England. Okay, so we just narrowed it down to 2 teams. Now you
Tyler
look at
and
those
Devontae?
team situations. Kyler and Devontae would be a lot of fun.
Woo.
It would be a lot of fun. I could see that. In New England
needs to restart. They're not a quarterback away. Vegas is.
Yeah, no, they need to restart. Vegas is a quarterback away, and I don't think
a quarterback and a coach away.
Yeah. Which this offseason, you know what? I really like that. I really like that, Josh.
Kyler Murray to Vegas trade makes a lot of sense, actually.
It really does make a lot of sense. Especially if Kyler goes out there this year and looks good. And then the Cardinals, if the Cardinals still play bad football, because you can have a great quarterback but still play bad football.
And they already got 2 first-round picks this year. They have theirs and Houston's.
Yeah. So the Cardinals, they have one top 10, top 5 pick most likely. And then they have one top 15, top 17. Yeah.
They're not
top 17
pick.
pick.
I'm calling it top 15. They're not a playoff team.
So they can get a quarterback. They can get a top quarterback in this draft class, which is really Caleb Williams or Drake May. They can get one of the two. So if I'm the Cardinals, because they need to reset as well. They need to reset as well, at least in my opinion. They already got
a ton of picks. Just keep stacking them.
Yeah, they do. I'd say you trade Kyler to the Raiders after this year. Jimmy G, let him go to whatever team he wants to go to if you're the Raiders. Just tell him to kick rocks. And then the Raiders could be something. It's either 1 or 2.
I think it was 1. I'm not sure. It was 3.
3.
But he's actually getting significantly less money this year than the next 2.
Yeah.
So they would have to probably trade him or something because actually they'd be losing a good amount of money.
Where would they trade him? Atlanta? Desmond Ridder doesn't look like the guy.
Yeah, why would Atlanta do that, though?
No, exactly. I agree. I'm just throwing out teams that need a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they also could do the restructure thing and figure it out.
Oh, Ryan Poles would never do it, but that would be the most Bears thing ever, is getting Jimmy G to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
That would be the most Bears thing ever. That's such like signing Nick Foles or fucking Mike Glennon to a long deal. That's such a Bears thing to do.
It is.
But I don't know. That's such a weird situation, dude. Now you open up my mind to this whole thing.
But then again, Arizona has a ton of picks. So if you say we got our quarterback, which I would not be against doing because, again, I think he's a borderline top 10 quarterback.
Sure.
And you have all those picks, you then can surround Kyler with them because you already got the quarterback. You don't need to go out and find someone else. So there's logic.
I think it's bigger than that. I think it's bigger than that you need a full reset. Because look, by the time you build that team in Arizona, it's gonna be it's gonna be in what? If you're lucky, 2, maybe 3 years before they actually build a team
for the next 5.
Exactly, but then you get down to the end of Kyler's contract and you're finally contending, but now Kyler's starting to get older. He's starting to find his way to get out of the NFL. I think that you do a full reset.
He'd be 30.
Yeah, but we talked about the next 5 years. We talked about the next 5 years.
As I'm saying, it makes sense. It makes sense on both sides. And I think it's a very interesting conversation. And it
does, but I don't know. I just think that the Cardinals need a full reset no matter what. No matter how this season goes, no matter what happens, they need a full reset. You draft a quarterback this year. You draft a couple weapons to go with them. And you do this next year. You give them some more weapons. You help out that defense a little bit. You shop free agency. You do everything.
Right.
And you open up a 3-year window. You make it 3 years. This year, we're going to suck. And we're going to have a lot of draft picks, and they're going to be high draft picks. That's what the Cardinals are
doing. Look at what they did in the draft last year.
Exactly. That's what they're doing. This year, we suck. Then you trade Kyler Murray this offseason, probably get some more picks, get whatever the fuck you want for him, right?
Right.
You go and get a quarterback, you go and get some weapons. And then next year, you test the waters with your quarterback, and hopefully he starts looking okay. And then the year after that is where the quarterback starts to establish himself in the NFL, and you hope to get like a wild card spot. maybe win the division if you get lucky enough. But with the 49ers and the Seahawks, I really don't see that happening. But maybe you get a wild card spot. Or at least just have like a win, 7 to 9 win year. That's all you want in year 2 of a rookie quarterback.
This year.
Yes. And then
they're
you get even more weapons, and then your quarterback keeps developing. In year 3, that's when Arizona makes a turn. That's what I think that Arizona should do.
All right. Now, we talked about the good quarterback news. Now we got some bad quarterback news to talk about, though. And that is that Anthony Richardson is out for the year.
I know, dude. That hurts so bad.
That really sucks.
That hurts so bad. I love Anthony Richardson.
Me too.
I think that the guy's a fucking beast, man. And that just, he was looking so good. He looked so good when he played. And that just, that hurts, man. That hurts. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, it sucks. I really liked what I saw from him. The accuracy wasn't necessarily great, but as a whole, he looked really damn good. And he looked like he had all the potential in the world, which is what I expected from him. I thought he was going to be really good. And in Indy, you got a young team. You got Shane Steichen there, first-year head coach. It's interesting, though. But the Colts learned the hard way what happens when you don't have your quarterback sit when he's hurt. They learned the hard way what happens with Andrew Luck. And I do commend them for not trying to force a guy out there because he's a rookie that's electric and is going to sell you tickets, because he's going to make you a ton of money because he's a rookie quarterback that's electric. And you could very easily say, from a business standpoint, this guy's going to get people at our stadium to watch our games. You're playing. And I will commend
fill the
Colts
seats
for saying, for sitting him and making sure he's fully healthy. But as good as he has looked, I don't like seeing a guy get injured 3 separate times in 5 games at all.
Yeah, no.
That's very worrying.
Mm-hmm. I just, it hurts, dude. It hurts. It hurts because I said going into the year that Anthony Richardson, he's either going to be insanely good or he was going to be very bad.
I thought he was going to be really bad. I thought he was going to be what Josh Allen was. I thought he was going to take a couple years and he would be really bad this year. I mean, people forget how bad Josh Allen was in his rookie year. I thought he would take some time, but he's already electric. So
100%. But he's just one of those quarterbacks where coming out of college, he had so many ups, so many downs, where it was just, he's either going to be really good or he's going to be really bad. And it was just one of those in-between things. And he was really starting to figure it out so early.
Yeah.
So early. You don't see that a lot in the NFL. You really don't.
Especially not for rookies this young. Anthony Richardson's 21 years old. He's not this 22 or 23-year-old rookie. He's 21. This guy was born in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like a guy, like, one of the things that everyone loved bringing up was that despite the fact that they entered the year 2 years apart, Lamar Jackson's younger than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is a guy that entered into the league old, and that meant that he was able to immediately become that pro-ready quarterback because he had time to develop.
Yeah.
And Anthony Richardson, 21 years old, already looking like this, that's just even more time for a guy like him.
It is.
Which is great.
It is, dude. Yeah. I just think, I don't know. I wish the best for him, and I hope that next year that he goes out there and just fucking tears it up.
I agree.
Just absolutely tears it up. And you know what? This is a great thing to talk about. Josh, I know that you saw it. Okay. I've done my research. At first, I thought I thought that 100% that she was a plant. I thought that 100%, right?
Keep this comment up.
But after doing some research, the Chargers lady, I believe that she is not a plant because of a few reasons. Number one, apparently she used to be a Minnesota Vikings fan, and then her family, they were out in LA. And that picture doesn't really make too much sense, but also that game was at the LA Coliseum, and that's when the Rams were there. But then the Chargers moved to LA. And then the Chargers she became a fan of the Chargers, which I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with it. You got a team that moves.
I didn't get a chance. I've not watched that yet, but
I've seen clips. I've seen bits and pieces of it. But I think, because their family, they have a lot of money. Her husband's like in real estate, and herself, she's a pharmacist. They got a decent amount of money. So they literally have this thing where they have season tickets and they get the cabana suites at SoFi Stadium.
Nice.
And if I'm spending that much money, especially a suite out in LA for every game,
you better be a fan.
Yeah, you better be reacting like that. I just think that a lot of it is that people see somebody acting out like that, rooting for a football team, and they think it's fake right away. No, that maybe she's just a really big fan.
And I don't want to be that guy, but especially if it's a female fan, people are gonna people don't want to acknowledge that is a very real thing, that females also are sport fans.
100%. 100%. I don't think that she's a paid actor or anything like that whatsoever. I think that she just likes the Chargers.
I agree. Another concept that people find difficult to grasp.
Which that's actually true, is that the Chargers do not have a lot of fans.
It's not the Cowboys.
Yeah, no. Dude, that was basically like a Cowboys home game.
Well, that's what I expected. I mean, they practice in California.
Yeah, this week you're going to have, what's it called? You're going to have a lot of Lions fans to be with.
I know. I'm actually really intrigued for it to see how it is. You know what? Fan base, I see them every year, so it's to be expected, but Pittsburgh obviously always travels well, and they always fill our stand pretty well. With the exception of them, do you know what fan base I think has traveled to M&T Bank Stadium the best that I have seen?
Who?
You'll be shocked. The Vikings.
Yeah.
Their fan
base makes complete sense.
Came to Baltimore in 21 and were there, and they were loud.
It makes a lot of sense. It does.
Even more so. And that game was crazy. That game went to overtime. But
yeah,
I think it's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be really, really interesting to see how.
No. But that makes total sense saying Minnesota.
Yeah.
And
they have such an underrated fan base. They really do.
The one fan base I always see that fucking travels is the Packers, obviously.
Well, them and Pittsburgh are the same thing.
The two places where Bears fans travel well, the three places where Bears fans always travel well, obviously Green Bay, but I'm not division, but I'm not counting it division. Out of division, the three places where they always travel well is Arizona, Florida, any Florida team. There's always Arizona, Florida,
the Ravens
and then
too,
Tennessee.
Especially because of Lamar.
Because what all people do in fucking Chicago, and it's all old people. Because what they do is after they're done working in Chicago, they get out of the cold and they move to either Arizona, Tennessee. I mean, it's still cold there, but Tennessee's beautiful. Tennessee's awesome. You ever been to Tennessee?
No, I have not.
Really? It's worth your time. Not even just like Nashville. It's worth your time.
Definitely seems like a very cool city.
I've never been to Nashville before. Oh, but I've been to Knoxville. I've been to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, which is a bunch of tourist town there. Tennessee, it's very beautiful with all the mountains there, dude. Yeah. That's the weirdest thing. Do you have mountains by you or no?
No.
It's the weirdest thing.
In the state, sure, but nowhere near me.
Oh, it's the weirdest thing, just seeing mountains.
Yeah, it is.
It's the weirdest thing. Dude, the biggest mountain that I have is a garbage hill. That's 10 minutes away from my house.
Yeah.
And just seeing that and then going into the mountains, it's like, what the fuck? It doesn't look real. It literally does not look real whatsoever. But you know what? We could also talk about that. I kind of just want to start this thing where we keep track every Wednesday of the Caleb Williams race.
Okay.
Well, not just the Caleb Williams race, but the number one,
the
pick race.
Which is what I'm going on right now.
So I was looking at today. Yeah. Pull that up on here.
I'm doing it right now. Let's pull up Tankathon.
Which Tankathon is a great website.
Position, aren't you? Pretty good.
Oh, we are. And I want to keep track of this every week, especially now because let's just face it, the Bears season is essentially over. So let's just look at this. You got the number one. The Chicago Bears right now hold the number 1 and number 2 overall pick.
Yeah.
Did you know the only team to do that in all 4 American professional sports? What team was it?
I'm assuming it's not the Bears.
What team was it? It's one team, and it was in 1992.
Is it the NFL? Because if it's not the NFL, I won't know.
It is the NFL. It is.
92. It's not Dallas, is it?
No, I figured this. I found it out today because I just looked it up if any team has ever had.
But I want to think. Hold
pick.
on. I'm going away from the chat too. I want to see if I can think about this. Early 90s. Did the picks turn out well? Oh, it's is it Cincinnati?
No, it is not Cincinnati.
Is it? They had something like that though at one point in the 90s. Did these picks turn out well?
Not sure. I didn't read who it was, actually. I did not read who it was. I just saw who it was.
It's not the Colts. I just know they have a bunch of number 1 overall picks.
And it was the Colts.
Oh, it was. Because they've had I knew
it was the Colts.
I knew that because they have the most number 1 overall picks.
The 1992, I'm going to look this up real quick. 1992 NFL draft.
One of them, I believe, was Jeff George, right?
Let's see. Hold on. I'm about to find out real quick. No, fuck Wikipedia. Let me go on Pro Football Focus. Let's see.
It might be a little off.
Number 1, defensive end, Steve Ettman.
Right.
And number 2, Quentin Coriat.
So, no, they did not turn out well.
No, they didn't. And let's see. Is there any notable picks after that? Desmond Howard at number 4. I'm rolling through the draft. Not a lot of like crazy notable things. Chris Mims making a name on here. Tommy Maddox. Yeah,
Okay.
nothing super crazy though.
Not a very good draft.
Yeah, David Klinger. But nothing insane. Nothing insane.
All right.
But
looking at
this is
though,
nuts.
right now. Yeah, it is.
I can't
But
believe it, man.
I do want to turn your attention to the Panthers' strength of schedule that they've had.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It is crazy.
I'll turn your attention to that fact that the Bears are the only team to not have a difficult schedule.
They just fucking suck. They literally just suck.
Wow.
Well, let's see. Ready? I'm looking at this. So far, the Panthers this year have played the Falcons, Saints, Seahawks, Vikings, Lions, Dolphins.
Yeah.
This week they play the Texans, then the Colts, then the Bears, which hopefully
Thursday
that game
football.
just fucking ties, honestly. Yeah, I'll be there for Thursday Night Football. The Cowboys, that's a rough game. The Titans, the Bucks, the Saints, Falcons, Packers, Jaguars, and the Bucks.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult. It is.
They'll get a few wins in there, but they'll be that's difficult for sure.
Yeah, no, it is 100%. And I just think, what's it called? I don't know. I think that Carolina, they're not going to go 0-17.
No, nowhere near it.
They're not that bad. I think they're going to start winning towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because that's when Bryce Young, I mean, he's looked a little bit better
and better every week. Yep.
Yeah. And towards the end of the year, they're going to win a few gimme games, and they'll probably end with 3-4 wins. Right. I'll probably say that. But right now, this is a hell of a start because even if the Bears could have 2 top 7 picks in the draft, that's nuts. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. And unless if you like trade during the draft to have 2 top 7 picks, that's unheard of.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And I don't know if somehow they get the number 1 overall pick, that would be pretty damn cool. 2 years in a row. Well, it wouldn't be cool to actually watch the team, but it would be cool to have 2 number 1 overall picks. You know.
All right. Let's move on here because we do have a player that is on his way to Canton, but he doesn't have that Super Bowl ring. He doesn't have one. And he signed to a practice squad yesterday as Julio Jones.
Mr. Jones, man. Mr. Jones. That's so weird. That's so weird.
That the Eagles, obviously, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith have been very productive. But Quez Watkins and Olamide Zaccheaus, and Quez Watkins went on IR too, but they are the wide receivers with the next most catches behind Smith and Brown. Do you know how many catches they have on the year? 4.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a massive opening for a wide receiver 3 spot. I'm not even necessarily saying that Julio will take it, but the opening is there.
It is there, and I think that Julio still got some smoke in him.
Yeah.
I think he does. You know, he was okay last year in Tennessee. He wasn't like incredible, like something to go and preach to the world about, but he was okay.
24 catches for 299 and 2 touchdowns in 10 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's wide receiver 3 numbers.
Yeah. Per game,
wide receiver 3 with those numbers.
4 catches, 30 yards, and 0.2 touchdowns. Yeah, exactly. It's wide receiver 3.
That's wide receiver 3 numbers. I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think that it was a bad pickup at all, and I think that it will help out the Eagles, if anything. It'll help them out.
I don't see what the downside would be.
No, you pay them a little bit of money. You probably make that in concessions in one game.
Exactly.
Probably like a fourth of what you make in the concessions, dude. That's nothing, basically. But what else did I want to throw out there?
We got this is a fun one. This is a fun topic. So flag football is going to the Olympics in 2028.
Oh my gosh, I made a video about this like a week ago, dude.
Let's make a dream flag football roster.
Okay.
I'm
down for this.
The number 1 pick has to be Tyreek Hill. Everyone knows.
Oh, yeah, number 1, Tyreek Hill. 100%. And here's the question, though. So I never played flag football. I only played tackle football. That was it.
Okay.
Is it 7-on-7?
It's flag football.
So I'm guessing it's 7-on-7, right?
It's the standard flag football rules.
Which is that 7-on-7?
Yes.
So it's quarterback, running back. How many wide receivers?
Here, hold on. I'm trying to find.
Is it 3? 3 wide receivers, center, and then a tight end. That's what I think it is. I think it's just a center.
Quarterback, 2 wide receivers, a running back, a tight end, and an alternate is what I'm seeing right here. Oh, here we go. Here's the official NFL. NFL.com even made an article about it. Let's see. 12-player rosters on a 50-yard field in a 5-on-5 format.
5-on-5.
So it would be, 5-on-5. So you would have 5 offensive players, 5 defensive players, and a sub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then you do have.
Yeah.
So is there like a 5-apple blitz or no? That's the question. Like, is it 1 apple, 2 apple? Like, what are the rules? Is it
apple? What?
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi?
Ever.
Oh, we used to play 5-apple blitz.
I've never heard apple ever.
Yeah, that's what we used to play.
Interesting.
All the time.
It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Now, there are flag football professionals, so I'm not sure how they're going to do this. If they're going to make an NFL roster, but it would be very fun if they did.
You gotta put what's it called? You gotta put some NFL players out there.
You would want to. Tyreek wants to do it.
Yeah, Tyreek wants to. You know who else said they want to? Gronk.
Yeah, I saw that.
Gronk said he wants to play, dude. This is literally just giving the U.S. a free gold medal, though.
But it's them trying to grow the game. And that's what
it is. It is, but it's literally giving the U.S. a free gold medal.
Of course it is. That's how basketball was too. They're adding baseball this year too. That's also. Well,
but baseball's like everywhere now.
Never mind. I take that back. Didn't even finish the sentence.
Yeah, baseball is everywhere now.
International sport.
Yeah. But all right, so let's
Lamar.
think. Who's your quarterback? I was gonna say Lamar. It's either Lamar or Mahomes.
But
it's
like
one of the two.
Flag football, Lamar.
Yeah, and here's the thing: I think that for this dream team, I think that it's going to be a lot of college guys who play in this. I think it's going to be a lot of like people who are in college.
Might even be younger.
Yeah, no, it honestly might be.
I think you're going to see high school kids.
You might just get like IMG Academy basically out there.
So you got it like Lamar is going to be a little Tyreek is going to be.
Okay. Let's make our dream roster. Let's make our dream roster, and we are pretending that this is tomorrow, that they are
Right.
playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, first off, let's start with the offense. Quarterback, we're going with Lamar.
Yeah.
Because he's got some wheels. If somebody blitzes, dude, he's got the wheels. He can get out of there. Lamar. And you don't need too much accuracy during flag football. Even though
He's been
Lamar's a
very
great
accurate
passer.
this year anyway.
Yeah. So we'll take Lamar. You can only scramble after somebody blitzes.
Obviously, Tyreek.
Tyreek. Okay. Who's your running back?
H-N.
Yeah. We just want a team of wheels. That's all we want. We want wheels. Because since it's not tackle, it doesn't matter. You need wheels on this team.
Yeah.
But I'm going to kind of contradict what I said, and I'd say for my next wide receiver, DK.
He's fast too.
Somebody to throw. Yeah, I know, but he could throw a body on somebody too. Because it does get physical going up for a ball.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It does, and he'll throw a body on anybody. He will. So I'll take him. And then who's our third wide receiver?
Or
there's only two.
Let's just add another, like any player. It doesn't need to be.
You know what? I'm actually going to contradict your running back pick, and I'm going to go with the homer pick here and say Tariq Cohen at running back. Prime Tariq Cohen at running
You know what
back.
else would be fun? Like Trent Williams.
Yeah. Dude, just throw him out there. You know who we have to get out there though? Oh my God, Cordell Patterson. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Cordell Patterson. Dude, he would at the alternate 100%.
Zay Flowers too. I'll throw him out there. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Patterson
The joystick out
100%,
there, Zay
dude.
Flowers.
Maybe a little
Like-
Taysom Hill action.
Yeah.
Can't lie. Because he could throw the ball too,
Defensively,
dude.
Defensively, Micah Parsons, Sauce Gardner,
Yep.
Surtain.
What's his name? Just started practicing today with Miami. I'm blanking on his fucking name. I don't know how.
Jalen Ramsey.
I'd throw Ramsey out there.
Okay.
Get like fucking what's his name, dude? Huge dude who played in fucking Houston. He played in New England.
Vince
He's retired
Wilfork?
now. Vince fucking Wilfork, dude. You know how awesome that would be? Vince Wilfork out there.
Or BJ Raji. Someone like that.
Do you know if he's lost any weight at all? Is he still like huge?
I mean,
He's usually a lot of guys.
Vita Vea. There you go.
Vita Vea. Yeah, that's the common day. Vince Wilfork. Well, not as big, but he's a big boy too.
Well, guys, the teams don't want guys that big anymore.
Yeah, I know they don't.
You want
but
more
Vince
athletes.
Wilfork was a dog,
Teams
dude.
don't want a guy like that anymore.
No. Besides Vita Vea, because he is great.
But Vita Vea is also athletic.
Yeah, he is. But also, I don't know. I think that's a good roster. I think we have a pretty good build right here.
I like it.
But you know what we got to do last now?
We
got to talk about Thursday night.
Before we do that, we got to go through the power rankings, and then we do it.
All right, let's see it. Pull up the power
rankings for the week. I never do this. Not never. I rarely do this. In terms of keeping a team that lost at number one, but I feel like San Fran has earned that.
Okay, I'm perfectly fine with that, dude.
Not too much movement this week. I feel like. The top 7, I think, are very clearly above everyone else.
Yeah, like I was talking about, there's like 5 or 6 teams at the bottom that are just bad, and then there's the 7 teams at the top that are good, and then the rest is just mid.
Yeah,
it's all just.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about that for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's see. Team that moved down the most was Seattle, but it wasn't even anything really they did. I just had them too high. And then same thing with moving up in terms of it being the Bengals did nothing to deserve to move up by 3. It was just that Tampa and Atlanta needed to move down a little bit. So since he moved up, the Rams up 3, I think is fair. The Browns absolutely deserve to be moved up 3 spots. Their defense is legit. The Jets, same thing. They were too low. Obviously a very impressive win, but I feel like it was more of them being too low than anything else.
For sure.
That said, beating Philly is still beating Philly.
Yeah, beating Philly is beating Philly. And I can't wait for that game this week, Miami-Philly. That's going to be fucking nuts. That's going to be a nuts game, dude.
Number 3.
The Lions all the way up at 3. Deserved. It's deserved.
100%.
It is.
100%.
Dude. It is literally just unreal football out of
This
the Detroit
Ravens
Lions
game is
lately.
going to be a really good game too. The matchups this
It
week.
will. It will.
Like these two teams match up very well this week.
There's a lot of good matchups and a lot of bad matchups this week.
There's listen to this. In terms of strength versus strength. Now these are yards based stats, so they're taken with a grain of salt, but it is a good way of showing you where every team stands, and that is all right. Total defense. The Ravens right now are number 2, and the Lions have number 3 total offense. So 2 versus 3 in the league, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Run defense. The Lions are number 1, and the Ravens are number 5 rushing offense. And then passing offense, the Lions are number 4, and the Ravens are number 2.
Yeah, I would say that should be. I would say that should be Sunday Night Football, but Sunday Night Football is already like stacked. That should be Monday Night Football because the Monday night game sucks.
But I feel like
San Fran, Minnesota.
Matchup,
I feel like it will be. I mean, it will be a game, but
this would be better.
But Detroit, Baltimore on Monday Night Football would have been perfect.
Ravens primetime games at home hit different, man.
It would have been fun. It would have been really fun.
One home primetime game this year. I really hope they flex the Miami game later in the year.
They probably will. If
you
guys both keep winning like you are right now, dude, yeah.
The only thing is that the Ravens have a bunch of primetime games late in the season where if they flex that, they would have to flex out.
Oh, yeah, I remember we talked about that.
They would probably have to flex out. They would have to flex out Ravens Chargers, Ravens Jaguars, or Ravens Niners, one of the 3.
Yeah. You see that they kept the Bear in primetime next week?
Yeah, today was the last day to flex it out.
Yeah. I mean, dude, they just keep it in there because Chicago pulls the viewership. That's why. Bears will always pull viewership. That's the only reason why they didn't flex them out.
And
know this, Josh. It's a business.
Yeah. What was the game? It was San Fran and Cincy, I think. I assume CBS just protected that game and said, you're not taking that game from our network.
Yeah.
Understandably so.
But still, you don't. They'll never flex out Chicago. They'll never flex out Green Bay. They'll never flex out Dallas. They'll never flex out San Francisco. Regardless of how good or bad they are, they will never flex out any of those teams because they will always pull the viewership.
It's true.
Every
it's
time.
True. In particular, Dallas. In particular.
Yeah.
That's like,
yeah.
Dallas,
I mean, like all the other
yeah,
franchises in some of the biggest cities in the U.S., they never will. It's a business at the end of the day, and they'll make the money. But all right. Time to pick.
It's tough because we don't know if Trevor Lawrence is going to play.
I believe he is.
Before we do that, though, obviously we'll take a look here at the standings. Right now, the fans, look at that lead they've built already. 64-29 for the fans. The fans have won this 3 years in a row, but they are out to a much bigger lead than they ever have had. They've never had a lead like this early in the year. Me and you are actually tied at 57-36. We are.
There we go, Joshua. The Burns and Berman show
is 52-41. At the bottom, I'm undefeated on my lock of the week picks still.
Wow.
Lone Wolf picks were both 3-4. Michael's 6-11. In terms of how many times everyone's been picked, let's see. I have not picked. There's not a single team that I have picked every single week anymore. Every single team I have.
Who have I picked every week?
You have picked the Chiefs and the Saints.
Wow.
Every week. The only team Michael has picked every week are the Eagles, and then the fans have picked the Niners, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, and the Ravens every single week.
Wow.
And then
that makes
on
sense.
The flip side, in terms of 0, the only team I have not picked is Houston. Michael is yet to pick Tennessee, Vegas, Atlanta, the Giants, and the Rams. The fans are yet to pick the Titans, the Patriots, the Panthers, and the Cardinals, and you are yet to pick the Texans, the Packers, shocker, the Panthers, and the Cardinals.
Well, all right. Looking into tonight's game, as Josh said, I have never picked against the New Orleans Saints this year because I'm very high on the Saints, and I've always liked.
You vote on the next _network Instagram.
Yeah, I've always liked the Saints, and because I played my team when I was playing Pee Wee football when we won our championship, whatever it was, I was on the Saints.
Nice.
And that was the year they won the Super Bowl too. So I've always liked the Saints.
Hold on.
But the thing is, Jacksonville's winning this game. This is my first time picking against the New Orleans Saints, and I think
Even
Trevor,
so you're assuming T-Law's playing.
I am assuming he's playing, but even without him, I think that this is a weird game, and Jacksonville got their stride. And I'm taking
Jacksonville. Get it done.
I am taking Jacksonville regardless here. I am taking them. And here's my play of the game. I got the Jaguars money line. Then I have the over at 39.5 points. Very low line, very weird. Like literally 90% of public money is on the over, but I think it's going to be one of those public cash moments. And then I have Calvin Ridley over 54.5 receiving yards. I think that Calvin Ridley's going to fucking eat, dude. I love Calvin Ridley. But yeah, I got the Jags in this one. I like them.
What's your score?
Ooh. I'm going to go.
The new category is that we added last week is score margin. So you actually got to put thought into scores now, which was a good move on Michael's part. Who got 3 correct score margins last week. He only had 2 in the first 5 weeks. Got 3 right last week alone.
I got it. I'm going to go 24-21.
24-21 Jags.
3-point score margin.
So the Jags did call up Nathan Rourke to be a potential number 3 quarterback if T-Law can't go. CJ Beathard would be the starter. But if T-Law goes, interestingly, he went 38-2 in college. Trevor Lawrence did, Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
He lost 2 games in his college career, both of which were at the Superdome. Interestingly enough, this is his first time going to the Superdome since. But you guys know I love Jacksonville. I predicted them to go to the Super Bowl this year. I predicted T-Law to win MVP. But they're yet to have that game where they look like it until last week. Last week, they did it. Last week, they looked like the team that I was expecting them to look like.
Yes, sir.
You know, I've been low in New Orleans all year. It makes sense for me to go with Jacksonville. I am going to go with Jacksonville. But I'm still, while they've looked good, I'm still a little hesitant on them. I still... I need, because again, my expectations were so high. It wasn't about, my expectations were not what most people's were.
Yeah.
If you look at it the way most people looked at it, then the Jaguars would look great. But my expectations were much higher for them. So I still need to see a little bit more. But they look good. I think they're gonna win this game, but I also do like the way New Orleans matches up. So the Saints could win it, but I'm gonna pick the Jags. I'll say 28-24.
24 Jags. I zoned out like really bad.
28-24.
There we go. Welcome to the party, Josh.
Jacksonville defense leading the league in takeaways right now with 15.
Yeah.
Darius
Jags
Williams
defense has been balling.
Unbelievable this season.
Yeah. But wow. Me and you both on the Jags. Who'd Michael pick? Or not yet?
Michael's not giving his pick yet, but actually, I don't know who will go with in this one. I feel like he could go either way.
I feel like the fans are going to go with Jacksonville, too. I feel like the fans are going to ride Jacksonville.
It's definitely a toss-up. Michael's picked the Jags 3 times and the Saints 3 times. So,
wow. But yeah, I like Jacksonville. And I think they're going to go in there and get the job done tomorrow night. A weird game, but a fun game.
Yeah.
Weird game, but a fun game. I'm excited for it. And
this is a fun episode.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah, no, this was. I like talking just a bunch of different topics. It was a good time. Thank you guys so much for joining. 20 episodes strong. And we will be back here on fucking Friday. What day are we going to? Friday, 2:30 p.m. Central Time, episode 21.
Yeah.
What's 9 plus 10, Josh?
21.
All right. We will see you boys on Friday. Thank you so much for joining once again. Deuces, y'all.